Hi everyone. Today my friend Peter and we would like to talk about something very important, that what's the difference between awakening and enlightenment. So without further ado, let's dig in. So Peter, would you like to tell your point of view? What do you think? What's the difference between enlightenment and awakening?
Okay. The first thing I would like to say is what I understand by the word awakening.
Hmm.
There is something like the conditio humana, like it said in Latin, it is the state of man as he is. And a man, the man, me, and everybody else is basically a physical being with a body, which is handled by the medical sciences. And there are mental aspects, there is a mind,
Hmm.
there are thinking processes and memories and all these things, which I would put together under the name mind. And then there is the spiritual aspect. In the Christian tradition, this spiritual aspect is told the soul. There is a little bit difficult point in Christianity because the Christians are saying my soul is going to heaven
Hmm.
or my soul is going to hell, and there comes up the question whose soul is going to
True.
heaven. Yeah, and so I think it is from the nomenclature, from the wording, it is not very useful to say my soul, because the soul is that what the person is himself. The spiritual being in the Indian traditions, it is called Atman. It is the immortal spiritual being. So in the normal running of life, this spiritual being, the soul, is living with this body,
Hmm.
is using this body for communication, for experiencing, uses it like a computer. The brain is a computer. And this is all very nice and all very good.
Yeah.
The only problem is if this soul believes to be the same like the body and the brain.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is, for example, if I have a car and I park it outside and I go out of the car and then I'm sitting at home.
Hmm.
The fact is I'm not sitting in that car, but it is my car. But in
True.
the usual language in Germany,
Hmm.
yeah, are people, someone is arriving with his car, he is parking his car, and then he is visiting a friend.
Hmm.
And the friend says, "Where are you standing?" And then the guy who is arriving says, "Yes, I'm standing at the corner of this and that street." I mean, this identification with the car is part of the language.
Oh yeah.
It is in Germany. Where are you standing? Yes, I'm standing at the corner of this and the street. This means, where did you park your car?
Okay.
Yeah, and it is the funny part of it is that our relation to our body is quite similar.
Car is
We
body and the person is metaphor of
exactly, yeah.
soul.
If you know, the body is basically a communication system, and it has a thinking machine.
Hmm.
And if I say I am this, I am the same as this, it is a kind of identification which can be very practical for
Hmm.
communication purposes and for social intercourse, but it is not really factual. The problem is that we have a tendency to really not only say we are the same as our body, but also to believe it.
True.
Yeah, or even to be convinced about it.
Yeah.
There are people who get really angry if you tell them, my dear friend, you are not your body, you are yourself.
True. Yeah.
So, and now what is awakening? I mean, awakening is basically a term from Hindu philosophy and from Buddhist philosophy. We can use it in Germany because there is a certain influence of Hindu philosophy and Buddhistic philosophy in the Western world. And what does it mean? It means that the spiritual being, the soul, the Atman, awakes to the fact that it is itself. So that's awakening. If people have this experience, some of them have the experience that they are totally disconnected from their bodies. But they all have in common that they have the full realization that they are not their body, that they have a body. And this I call awakening. This basically means that all the strange habits of this body mind system are still there, or can still be there. For example, somebody can awaken, and he has the habit to smoke, and he wanted to stop smoking since 35 years, and now he has this experience of awakening. It does not mean that he now stops smoking. Yeah. So awakening means to awake to the fact of one's own spiritual nature and to have a really stable certainty about it.
And I would like to go back to that example. To me, it seems like, yeah, for example, somebody who has understood that I have a car, but I'm not my car.
Yeah.
So I'm an individual. I have my own self,
Yeah.
and there's one car self.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so that's somebody who has understood that. We would call that person is awakened.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one can do that. Yeah. And enlightenment is an expression out of Hinduism and Buddhism, and means basically that someone has freed himself from all kinds of suffering, which is a very, very high goal, because this implies that one is freed from all these mental storages of pain, of suffering, of loss, yeah, which are somewhere in the mind stored and are there, and some of them are in a kind of a pending state and can be triggered by certain circumstances. So enlightenment would be that this storage is completely emptied, that there is nothing in it, and that someone and that oneself is so absolutely certain of himself or herself as an immortal, limitless, boundless spiritual being, that there is really no suffering. Yeah, there is no idea to ever be able to become a victim again. And that's, I don't know if anybody ever achieved the state. I mean, there are stories about Buddha, that he went to nirvana.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who said that, how do they know? Yeah.
But there's another thing which before starting the video we were talking about too, that I think a lot of us human beings, we get caught up with this, that we see awakening or enlightenment something like you achieve, like in my definition, we feel like it's something physical, that once you will have it, so it means you have it. But I think those states are like, sometimes in life you can be awakened for a certain time, and then you can go back to be not awakened. And same applies, I guess, for the spiritual enlightenment as well. What do you think about this? Or you think that no, once you reach to awakening, you are awake for your whole life until you are alive, or how do you see that?
I mean, you mentioned at the beginning something very interesting, because you said there is the idea that awakening is something which one achieves, yeah, like a prize,
True.
yeah, and this is not the case, because awakening is not getting something, yeah, but awakening is getting rid of something. You know,
Yeah.
we are living with this burden of our past, yeah, as the Christian says, of our sins,
Yeah.
yeah, and all the stuff and all the suffering of the past, all the things which we had to experience, and all the things which we did to others, which were not good for them, and all this stuff. And this is a big burden, and awakening basically means to get rid of it. So now, for me, basically, the word enlightenment is for me something like an absolute. And I basically believe that absolutes are really not obtainable in real life. So for me, this is like an ideal, like Superman, something like that, which it's not so important. The important
Or the
thing,
divine force, for
yeah,
example, could be
for
the
example,
divine force who is creator of everything,
exactly.
is the form of absolute, for example, or yeah.
Excellent. It is possible to experience oneself as God, because it is basically true, because we are, as spiritual beings, we are all from one source, and basically we are the same as this source. We are this source. But
True.
this is not a state of mind out of which one is going down and sitting in his car and starting the car and driving through Berlin traffic, I think. Yeah. So for me, much more interesting is this concept of awakening as getting rid of something. And there are two things concerning to this burden. The one thing is to get rid of it. I have it on my shoulders. Yeah. I just can take a knife and the burden is falling down and I'm free of it, but the burden is still there. Yeah. The other thing would be an erasing of this burden. Yeah. And for me, awakening means just to get rid of this burden and to be free of this burden, and to live from a totally new point of view. An awakened person has a totally changed viewpoint on life. But it does not mean that this person is free from suffering. It
Yeah.
is like you said, one is going back into things, one is going out of things, one is going back into things. But there is one thing, if one really has this experience of awakening, one thing is really stable. And this I know from myself. One thing is absolutely stable. If this realization was once made, that one is an immortal, boundless, limited spiritual being, this is not going away. And this I know from myself, because despite of any situations which happen, this is there.
My goal right now is, whoever is listening, that sometimes this burden is too much, that we feel at the certain period of our life that, okay, I'm feeling much better, I feel more spiritually more awakened, and some circumstances or anything happens in our life, and then we feel like, oh damn, like what happened now, I'm back to square one, or what's going on. Or to me, it happened in my life that sometimes I started doubting awakening. I was like, maybe it was just in my mind, or but I think this is very important to know and to stay calm down about this, that It's not something like a place or something once you arrive there and you are gonna like, okay, now I'm here, I'm gonna stay here. It's like anything in life, honestly, on this planet, because our system, our mind, and our brain, and so many other factors, they play the role that we are quite bound
Yeah,
in many things. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it is, like you said, it is not a place where one arrives. It is basically the place where one arrives is present time.
Hmm.
It's the moment of now.